Good morning students. I hope you are all doing good. Let us see what we are going to discuss in today's class. Good morning ma. In previous class we have seen what about intermolecular force and how it will be important in explaining the state of matter. In today's class we will continue the chapter in which one more important property is there to say what about solids, liquids and gases state, how it will be existed, that is called thermal energy. Thermal energy is nothing but heat energy only. Okay, now let us consider any one substance which is in solid state. In solid state, between particles, intermolecular force is very strong. In solid state, between the particles, intermolecular forces will be very strong. Now, we are going to heat this solid. That means we are providing heat energy. When we are increasing the thermal energy, the molecules' intermolecular forces will be broken down. Previously, the intermolecular forces are strong. Now, as the temperature is increased, that means we are providing heat energy, their velocity of the particles increases and they will move apart. Because of that, what happened to intermolecular force? Intermolecular force decreases. When thermal energy is increased, intermolecular force decreases. Then the solid is getting converted to liquid. Furthermore, if you increase the temperature, that means by giving thermal energy, that liquid state will be converted to gaseous state also. Then from this what we have understood, this thermal energy and intermolecular force both are inversely proportional. Now let us see. Solid to liquid, liquid to gas. What will be happen to intermolecular force? Intermolecular force decreases. In this direction, intermolecular force decreases. Next, reverse. Just 1 second ma. Solid to liquid, liquid to gas. What will be happen to thermal energy? Thermal energy increases. Meaning of this point, when thermal energy is increased, solid will be converted to liquid, liquid will be converted to gas. When intermolecular force decreases, solid will be converted to liquid, liquid will be converted to gas. Next, gas to liquid, liquid to solid, intermolecular force increases. Gas to liquid, liquid to solid, intermolecular force increases. Then what about thermal energy? Thermal energy decreases. So both are inversely proportional. When intermolecular force is increased, thermal energy decreases. When thermal energy is increased, intermolecular force decreases. I hope you understood. Thermal energy is nothing but heat energy only. Thermal energy is nothing but heat energy only. Is it okay ma? So these are the two important factors, intermolecular force and thermal energy, which are going to decide the state of matter. That is about this thermal energy. It is clear. Next we will go through gaseous state topic. Meaning of gaseous state. We are going to discuss gases. that is only called gaseous state. In this gaseous state, mainly first side heading is measurable properties. Of gas. Measurable properties of gas, those are pressure, volume, temperature, amount of gas. Amount of gas is nothing but N, number of moles. These are the 4 important properties of gas. What are they? Pressure, volume, temperature, amount of gas, N. Amount of gas is nothing but number of moles of gas. Is it okay, ma? Next, why these are very important and why these are separately discussed in measurable properties of gas? That is, when we change any one property slightly, remaining 2 properties of the gas will be changed considerably. Meaning, when we change the pressure for gas, volume and temperature will be affected highly. Highly means some considerable value. Same thing for solid. If you change the pressure for the solid, volume and temperature will not be that much affected. So solid properties are different. Solid characteristics are different. Coming to gaseous state, these 3 are playing important role because in gases the intermolecular forces are very weak. The molecules are present very far away from each other. Okay na? Even if you affect any one of the properties, if you affect volume, pressure and temperature will be affected highly. If you affect temperature, pressure and volume will be affected highly. I hope you understood. If you affect number of moles of gas, this volume will be affected, temperature will be affected. That means if you change any one of the properties slightly also, that is going to change remaining properties highly. That's why we kept separate heading, that is measurable properties of gas. What are the measurable properties of the gas? Pressure, volume, temperature, amount of gas. These are the very important properties. First we have to go through all these properties very deeply. Okay, after that we will go through gas laws. Is it clear, ma? First my side heading is pressure. According to physics, we know the definition of pressure. That is, pressure is equal to force by area. It is simple. How much force is applied on unit area is called pressure. Like that we might have defined in physics. That one, by considering one particle, one substance, on that how much force is going to be applied on unit area, that one we will find, and pressure can be calculated. But here we are going to deal with gases. Is it correct? Gases pressure, how we are going to calculate, that is very important. First one, I am going to explain atmospheric pressure. We know atmosphere contains oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, argon, like this so many gases are present in atmosphere. Is it correct, ma? The total atmospheric pressure can be calculated by or can be measured by the equipment called barometer. Atmospheric pressure can be measured by barometer. Barometer, what is that barometer? Barometer is 1 meter long glass tube with thick walls. Barometer is 1 meter long glass tube with thick walls. These walls are very thick. Okay, ma? In which one end is opened and another end is closed. This barometer is nothing but it is 1 meter long glass tube. One end is closed and another end is opened. In this barometer we need to consider mercury. Mercury should be filled up to the brim. Brim is fully, this one, fully it is mercury only. Just by closing the other end, open end, we have to shake somewhat to reduce the bubbles present in the mercury. If any bubbles are there, they will be escaped out if you shake them. Okay, this is the barometer. Now this barometer is kept in a trough of mercury. Trough means some container contains fully mercury up to here. Observe, this open end is there, na? It is closed with thumb. This open end, this is closed end, this is open end, ma? This open end is closed with thumb, and we have to invert the glass tube and insert it into the trough of mercury, and we can release the finger. Once again, this open end we have to close with thumb, and we have to invert that glass tube, and we have to keep it in trough of mercury. Then it will be appeared as like this. This is fully mercury only it is containing. While I am explaining like this to students, generally students will think that after keeping this open end into the mercury trough and released the finger, this total mercury will fall into the trough of mercury, like that we will think. But it will not be happen like that, because after keeping inside, some amount of mercury will get down. Up to this much extent it will get down. Means this is vacant. This is vacuum. Fully it will not drop down into trough of mercury. Why it is reason? Because here vacuum is generated, na? Vacuum means no gas is present. One particle is also not there. Is it okay? That is pressure 0. Outside air is present at high pressure. Outside air is present at high pressure. Inside this is low pressure. Every time air wants to flow from high pressure region to low pressure region. That means from outside to inside it wants to go. But there is no chance of air to go into this vacuum, because it is fully covered by this mercury. But air definitely it wants to go from high pressure region to low pressure region. In that journey, this air is going to apply pressure on the surface of mercury like this. On this surface it is going to apply some pressure. Because of this air pressure, the mercury column inside will not get run down, and the height of this column, empty column, is also depending on this pressure only. Is it correct, ma? Because of this pressure only, mercury is standing here. When its pressure is low, suppose outside pressure is low, this mercury column level inside it will run down. Because outside pressure is low, na? This trough level it increases. Then inside mercury it will come down. This is like water, mineral water can. We know mineral water can, mineral water can is kept on another can which is containing one tap. This is very small can only, but mineral water can is containing very big can. Even though this mineral water can is kept on this small can, this total water will not fall down. Up to this empty, up to this mineral water can, how much it is filled, up to that only water will come down. Remaining water will stand like that only. I think you observed. Is it correct or not? This is almost very big can. This is very small one. But how this is happened? This is because of pressure difference only. Here already water is present. That water will stop this incoming water. When we open this tap and collect some water into the glass, then this water will enter. At that time we will see bubbles also here. Bubbles like this it will come. As soon as if you open this one and get collection into the glass of water, then this one will be getting run down. So slightly when this is getting removed, then this water will come down. That principle like that here also. When the pressure outside it is less, this trough of mercury will come, level will be increased. Inside level it is getting down. So by seeing the height of this mercury column, we can understand the pressure of atmosphere, because outside it is pressure which is applying the pressure, that is atmosphere only, na? Okay, then how we are going to estimate the pressure of atmosphere? By using the formula. I will check that one. Before that, I hope till now this one you understood. What are the important properties of gas? Pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas. Pressure P is equal to force by area, that is according to physics we know. Is it okay? Now coming to this pressure of atmospheric pressure means atmosphere. Atmospheric pressure can be calculated by using the equipment called barometer. Barometer equipment is like this. Okay, now same barometer, by keeping like this, if you go to higher altitudes, in higher altitudes pressure is less, automatically this mercury column will get run down. Not fully. There how much pressure is there, up to that level it will go. Then inside mercury column will be stopped. If total mercury column comes out, then only this mercury will come down. But outside if pressure is maintained, definitely this mercury column inside it will maintain some level. Okay then up to that extent it will come down. I think you are clear. Now this vacuum, this mercury column is there, how much mercury column is present at normal sea level? See, observe. At sea level means normally we are staying now. This is fully called sea level only. At sea level, height of the mercury column is equal to, height of the mercury column is from this one, see, this one. Okay, up to here, what is the height? At sea level, height of the mercury column is equal to 76 centimeters. 76 centimeters. Density of mercury is equal to 13.6 gram per cc. G is equal to 980 centimeter per second square. These three must be substituted in formula, that is P is equal to HdG. By using the formula, pressure is equal to height into density of the mercury into G, acceleration due to gravity, we can find the pressure of atmosphere. What is the formula? P is equal to HdG. Observe. P is equal to HdG. Pressure P is equal to, what is the height of the column? 76. 13.6 gram per cc, 980. If you do this calculation, you will get one answer. That answer is nothing but pressure of which one? Atmosphere. That is called atmospheric pressure. That calculation, everything no need. If you want, you can do with calculator, no problem. You will get the answer. Okay, that answer in units we have to get. That units are nothing but height in centimeters, density gram per centimeter cube, acceleration due to gravity centimeter per second square. This centimeter and this centimeter square here, and this centimeter will be cancelled. So here centimeter is remained. Gram per centimeter per second square. Final answer of this one, pressure, is in units gram per centimeter per second square you will get. That one, that much no need. But how we are getting that value, that one is very important. how we are going to calculate the pressure, that is very important, ma. In this way we are going to calculate the atmospheric pressure. Okay, actually now it is in 11th class only. In 12th class you have one chapter named by name solutions. In that solutions chapter, so many times we will see pressure units, centimeter of mercury, millimeter of mercury, like that you will see. In solutions concept, pressure units, centimeter of mercury, millimeter of mercury. Actually the centimeter of mercury, millimeter of mercury, those are not correct units, ma. Mercury column is there, na. That mercury column length is how much, height is how much, 76 centimeters. That is centimeters of mercury. So they are habituated to that one. Actually that is not the correct unit for pressure, but they are making that as unit because in this barometer this height of the mercury column is remained as 76 centimeters. Is it okay? That's why they wrote so many times in solutions concept. In 12th class you will see, ma, no problem. Okay, centimeters of mercury, millimeters of mercury, this units we got from here. Atmospheric pressure, this one, from this. Now the most important part in pressure, that is conversions. That conversion now I will write here. See, at sea level pressure is 1 atmosphere. 1 atmosphere is equal to 76 centimeters of mercury, which is equal to 760 millimeters of mercury, which is equal to 760 tar. Tar is nothing but it is the name of the scientist, which he has given the idea of barometer. He has only invented that barometer. Tar cell is, and this vacuum is also called tar cell is vacuum. In the remembrance of him, they gave unit of pressure as tar. 760 tar is equal to 1 atmosphere. These interconversions you have to remember to do any sort of problems. Please remember carefully and write down. 1 atmosphere is equal to 76 centimeters of mercury, is equal to 760 mm of mercury, is equal to 760 tar, which is equal to 1.013 bar, which is equal to 1.013 into 10 power 5 pascals. 1.013 into 10 power 5 pascals. 1.013 bar. By using this one, we can convert from any sort of thing to another one. Is it okay? 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 centimeters of mercury, 760 mm of mercury, 760 tar, 1.013 bar, 1.013 into 10 power 5 pascals. These are the useful conversions in pressure. Very important, note down carefully. Okay, ma? Pressure, atmospheric pressure, we will find by using the formula P is equal to HDG. I hope you are clear about this pressure. These are the units and how we will calculate the pressure, and these are all things. Is it clear, ma? Till now? After completion of this pressure, we will go to second property, that is volume. Coming to this volume, space occupied by gas in a container is called volume of gas. Volume of gas definition is space occupied by gas in a container is called volume of gas. Like this pressure in a container, different particles are present in a free motion. Okay, they are going to hit the walls of the container. While they are going to hit the walls of the container, they are applying some pressure on unit area. That is total number of molecules, how much they are going to apply force on the walls of the container, that is called pressure. That is only till now we have seen. Okay, what are the units? All these things also we have considered, ma. That is about pressure concept. Now we are entering into volume concept. What is the definition of volume? Definition of volume is space occupied by gas in a container is called volume of the gas. This is very simple only. Units of volume is equal to centimeter cube, meter cube, decimeter cube, liter, milliliter. Now conversions. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter. 1000 cc. Cc or centimeter cube, both are same only. 1000 ml. 1000 cc or cc centimeter cube. Okay, is equal to 1 decimeter cube. 1000 cc is equal to 1 decimeter cube. In terms of meter cube, if you want to write this one, just 1 second, ma. 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube is equal to 1000 into centimeter means 10 power minus 2 meters, whole cube meter cube. 1000 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube is equal to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So 1 liter is equal to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. One liter is equal to 10 power minus 3 meter cube. This is the conversion, ma. 1 liter equal 1000 ml, 1000 cc, 1 decimeter cube, 10 power minus 3 meter cube. What about 1 decimeter cube? 1 decimeter cube is equal to 10 power minus 1 meter whole cube. Decimeter means 10 power minus 1 meter, ma, is equal to 1 into this one means 1 this one only, 10 power minus 3 meter cube. See, 1 decimeter equal 10 power minus 3 meter cube. 10 power minus 3 meter cube is equal to 1 liter. So that's why I wrote 1 liter is equal to 1 decimeter cube. These are the useful conversions, highly useful. Mainly we will consider centimeter cube, decimeter cube, milliliters, liters. If you are clear, we will go to our third property, that is temperature. In physics, you might have gone through this temperature, different units also, and conversions also, ma. Those are 3 main scales of temperature are there: degree centigrade, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin scale. In those 3, in our gas state chapter, we will use only highly 2. Those are degree centigrade and Kelvin scale only we will use. Is it okay, ma? Degree centigrade and Kelvin scale only we will use. These 2 are units for temperature. Now, what is the definition of temperature? The degree of hotness or coldness of a body is called temperature. The degree of hotness or coldness of a body is called temperature. Is it okay? And what are the units, ma? Degree centigrade and Kelvin scale. Kelvin. Representation is also very important. Here representation is simply volume V only, pressure P only, but temperature only. In degree centigrade we will represent with small t. In Kelvin scale we will represent with capital T. In degree centigrade we will represent with small t. In Kelvin scale we will represent with capital T. Then the conversions will be small t is equal to, just 1 second ma, 0 degrees equal to 273 Kelvin. Small t is equal to capital T. Capital T is equal to, sorry for this one, capital T is equal to small t plus 273. This is correct. Capital T is equal to small t plus 273. If small t is equal to 0 degree centigrade, capital T is equal to 0 plus 273 Kelvin. Small t is equal to 1 degree centigrade, capital T is equal to 274 Kelvin. 1 plus 274 Kelvin. Small t is equal to 2 degree centigrade, capital T is equal to 275 Kelvin. Like that, if you want to convert degree centigrade into capital T, simply we will add 273 ma. Like that continuation will be. Is it okay? Now regarding this temperature, little bit more information is there. That one we will continue. Before that one, I hope you understood till now whatever it is discussed. Okay. Now we have started with, in this class, we have started with thermal energy. From thermal energy, we have seen what about the relation between thermal energy and intermolecular forces. After that, what are the measurable properties of gas we have started. In that, pressure, volume, temperature, amount of gas, these are the important measurable properties of the gas. In that, first term is pressure. Pressure is equal to force by area. How atmospheric pressure can be calculated by using the barometer. After that, what are the units of pressure. Conversions are also very important ma. These conversions, these are all discussed. After that, second property, that is volume definition. Next, units. Next, temperature definition and temperature units and those conversions. These are all we have discussed. Next, little bit more information about temperature, that is the least temperature till now recorded in laboratory, it is minus 273 degrees centigrade. Once again, the least temperature which was recorded in laboratory is minus 273. 0 degrees, minus 1, minus 2 itself we can't bear the temperature. Then you can understand minus 273 degrees centigrade, how much low temperature that is. Okay, minus 273 degrees centigrade. At this temperature only, atoms almost they are overlapped with each other without involved in bonds. Generally, at low temperatures, atoms will be coming closer. Is it correct, ma? Then furthermore, if you decrease the temperature, they will be furthermore getting closer. Okay, at this temperature, furthermore, if you decrease the temperature, almost these atoms without involvement in bond, they will almost overlap. That much low temperature is there. At that temperature, scientists found one new state is called Bose-Einstein condensate. That is fifth state of matter. Generally we will say three states: solid, liquid and gas. Further two states are there, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. Plasma is present at very high temperature. Bose-Einstein condensate is present at very low temperature, that is minus 273 degrees centigrade. Okay, then scientists they thought that this small t is equal to minus 273 degrees centigrade. this one is treated as capital T is equal to 0 Kelvin. Without considering the negative values, they found one new scale. Here small t contains negative values na, minus 273, minus 272, like that. Negative values are there. Without considering the negative values, scientists they found one new scale called capital T, that is called Kelvin scale, which is also called absolute scale or absolute temperature. Absolute temperature is nothing but capital T only. Okay, then they thought that minus 273 is 0 Kelvin. Then conversions now. Small t is equal to minus 272 degrees centigrade. That one will be equal to capital T is equal to 1 Kelvin. Like that 2 Kelvin. This is minus 271 degrees centigrade. Like that keep on going on. That's why capital T does not contain negative values. Capital T does not contain negative values. This is the reason. Absolute temperature is also called Kelvin scale. Is it clear, ma'am? This is about temperature. Next, fourth property, amount of gas, that is number of moles. Number of moles, already we know the formula, given mass by given weight by gram molecular weight. Amount of gas, number of moles. Number of moles formula is equal to given weight by gram molecular weight. Okay, this is only simple number of moles, units moles only. Units simply we will write moles only. 1 mole is equal to 6.023 into 10 power 23 number. Already we have studied in 11th class first chapter some basic concepts of chemistry. Is it okay, ma? This is about 4 properties. Those are pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas. For everything definition was clear and units also we have seen keenly. Is it okay? Now we will go through gas laws. Gas laws were proposed by different scientists to determine the relation between these properties. What are those properties, ma? Pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas. To determine the relation between these properties, scientists found some laws. Those laws are also called gas laws. Okay, in that we will study that first gas law, that is Boyle's law. Let us see the start with Boyle's law. Boyle's law was proposed by Robert Boyle. Before going to this Boyle's law, these gas laws are determining the relation between pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas. Correct? Then if you take Boyle's law discusses with any two properties, pressure and volume. Boyle's law discusses with two properties, pressure and volume. At that time, temperature and number of moles will be constants. Means there is no change in temperature and there is no change in amount of gas. When we are discussing with pressure and volume, remaining two properties must be constant. Then pressure and volume can be changed, no problem. That only. How if you change pressure, how volume is going to be affected? That study is called Boyle's law at constant temperature and number of moles. Relation between pressure and volume at temperature, constant temperature and number of moles is called Boyle's law. Now what is that relation? Pressure is inversely proportional to volume of the gas at constant temperature. and amount of gas, number of moles. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume of the gas at constant temperature and amount of gas. This is called Boyle's law. Boyle's law is stated, that means statement is okay. Explanation we have to see that one. Now let us see one container which is fitted with which is filled with some gas, fitted with one piston which can be movable. Now this is at initial pressure. This is at initial pressure. We are increasing the pressure now. Observe, this is the initial volume. This full, it is called initial volume of the container at pressure P1. When we increase the pressure of the gas, this piston will move down up to here. We are increasing the pressure, means we are applying force on that one, then automatically pressure is increased up to this much level we have applied. This is P2. Then what about this volume of the container? Volume of the gas is this much only, because piston will not allow gas molecules to escape. That's why only temperature and amount of gas must be constant. So this is the amount of gas, that is volume of the gas V2. When pressure is increased, what happened to volume of the gas? Previously it is more, now it became less. Then when one property is increased, another property is going to be decreased. That is called inverse relation. When one property is increased, another property is going to be decreased. That is called inverse relation. Now pressure and volume are inversely related. That is only represented as pressure is directly proportional to 1 by V. See, actually we will write like this, but we will pronounce it as pressure is directly proportional to 1 by V, or pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Like that also we can pronounce both ways. Both ways are no problem at all. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. In denominator we have written volume. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume, or pressure is directly proportional to 1 by V. This is called Boyle's law. Okay, next. P is directly proportional to 1 by V. Do one thing. P is equal to, by removing directly proportional, we can keep one constant K into 1 by V. V bring this side. PV is equal to constant. PV is equal to constant. Next, for first condition, P1 V1 is equal to constant. For second condition, P2 V2 is equal to constant. I am applying this one to first condition and second condition. For first condition, pressure is P1, volume is V1. For second condition, pressure is P2, volume is V2. Right sides both are same, then we can write it as P1 V1 is equal to, left hand side will be same, P2 V2. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is the useful formula to do the problems related to Boyle's law. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is initial condition, this is final condition. Then both are related as P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay ma? This is about Boyle's law. Related to this Boyle's law, some more graphs are there. That graphs we will study in tomorrow's class, next class. Is it okay? I hope you understood this concept. Now in today's class, what we have studied, small recall we can do, and after that we will stop. See, started with thermal energy, after that measurable properties of gas. We have seen pressure, volume, temperature and amount of gas are the measurable properties. Everything, pressure, volume, temperature, every definition we have studied keenly, and units are also studied. After completion of that one, we have gone through gas laws. Started with gas laws. First law is Boyle's law. Statement we have seen, and what is the formula useful to do the problems. That one till that we have seen today. We will continue the class in next. I hope you are clear. If you have any doubts, already I gave the number. You can contact me any time, no problem. I will clarify your doubts. Thank you. Have a nice day.